Alright, we're in the Sheep Creek area with the dry creek running next to us, and thought I'd show you some of the nicer part of the trail actually. It's got lots of pine needles on it, so it's somewhat soft, but you have to be careful because it can get a little slippery. But it's really very nice down here, very quiet. And it's nicer now than when I first came through because the sun wasn't up. I mean, it was up, it just wasn't up enough for us to enjoy it here in the creek bottom. There are a couple tricky areas where you have to kind of decipher where to get through. And fortunately, there's been cairns. And then I went through and added some tape on some tricky sections, and so did Steve. So it should be well marked now if you want to come out and enjoy the Sheep Creek Trail. It's not easy, but it's not hard. And see, there's some tape there, so I knew to turn here rather than go straight. And then you'll see that there's a cairn over here on the left. And you cross the creek several times, but there's really essentially no water. There's one spot where you kind of have to get around the water, but other than that, it's pretty nice walking. And not too much boulder hopping to speak of. So that's your trip through a short bit of the Sheep Creek Trail. And here's the camping spot that I passed by earlier. You can see it's very nice. It has a limited amount of sun. So it depends, I guess, on what time of year you come up here. And I guess here you may or may not to get some water, depending on, once again, what time of year it is. But it's a nice soft spot for a tent. It's got yourself a log to sit on. Another log back here. Pretty nice. Pretty nice little area, I'd say. And it's not too hard to get here with the backpack on. It's very doable. Really kind of some neat areas that you get to go through to get here, so you may want to put that on your list. Well, it isn't exactly easy sometimes, you know. There's a nice place for somebody to have a home. How about that, huh? And there are some tall, tall trees here. Oops, look out! Okay, climbed out of the creek bed. And this is what it looks like when you get out. We are on the Thicket Spring Trail. At least I think that's what it is. Anyway, as you can see, it's, there goes a blue jay, pinyon jay or something. Thought this picked it up, but anyway, this is what it looks like when you come out. And this is how thick the brush is. Pretty thick. Trail is nice though. Only has a couple of little mini roadblocks with the brush and such. And the brush doesn't give much though, that's for sure. Anyway, now you know what it's like once you get out of the creek bed. Okay, now we're back at a small creek tributary or runoff or wash that we get to go through. Whoops. And it stays pretty narrow like this, but it's really pretty cool. When I came through earlier this morning, there was no light on it whatsoever. But it's another neat area to traverse on this hard hike for me. And of course, then again, I have my sweatshirt on and my fleece on. But every time I take it off, I hit a cold area. So I'm just sweating it out in the sunshine and enjoying it in this cool temperatures here in the creek bed, or I presume it's some sort of creek bed. Very pretty rocks. And part of it, I think, is actually the Arizona Trail. I think we're running to the sign up here, as I recall. But I just wanted you to see. It's a pretty neat little area to walk through. A little reprieve from the sun now at this point, which I was looking forward to getting into earlier. And this is kind of neat right here. But the rocks colors are so pretty. Like this one right here. I think it has gorgeous colors. And back out into the sun. This was all in the shadow of the mountain to my right this morning. And now it's bathed in sunshine. Pretty cool. So I'll get to see it both ways. Looks a little scarier when there's not any light on it when you're by yourself. Okay, enough of this. See what I mean? It narrows down pretty much in this little section here. Smells good. Oh, now we're coming to the Arizona Trail sign. Well, actually, not the sign, but a marker. There. Sign's up a little bit further. Okay, I finally made it up that long hill. I almost missed the switchbacks from the Grand Canyon compared to that hill. Dang, that was hard. Probably not for most people, but for me, I mean, it was essentially, well, it seemed like it was straight up for quite a long period of time, but fortunately don't have to be in a huge hurry, so I could take my time and breathe. Now, we're probably about a mile and a half, maybe a mile from where the team is camped, and this is kind of what some of the terrain looks like here. Just came down some shale part that I've heard about that shale. Pretty amazing stuff. And it is slippery. The shale is. Pretty though. Anyway, we're almost home, as they say. Oops. We're almost there. And I keep pulling the glasses binoculars out, looking over toward Sheep Mountain, but just nothing.